$1 million. For decades, it's been the number people aimed for, the so-called magic number for retirement. But here's the question most Canadians are quietly asking themselves. Is $1 million still enough to retire comfortably today? The truth may surprise you. Think about it. Housing costs, groceries, travel, healthcare, taxes, everything is more expensive than it was even a decade ago. Canadians are also living longer, which means your savings need to stretch for 25 or 30 years or more. So while $1 million sounds like financial freedom, the reality is that it can disappear much faster than you'd expect, especially if you retire early, spend too aggressively, or underestimate taxes. The real question isn't, can you retire on $1 million? The real question is, what kind of retirement does $1 million actually buy in Canada? And what can you do to make sure it lasts? Hi, I'm Tanya Solsla, investment advisor at CG Wealth Management. If you're wondering what your own savings can realistically provide, book a time with me and we'll run through the numbers and strategies so you can move forward with confidence. I work with Canadians who want to take the guesswork out of retirement. Many have saved diligently, sometimes $1 million, $2 million or more, but they still worry about how long it'll last and how much they can safely spend. Today we're going to look closely at what retirement with $1 million really looks like in Canada. I'll show you the hidden risks that can erode your savings and the strategies to make sure your lifestyle, not just your money, is protected. If you find this valuable, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more financial content. Number 1, the $1 million illusion. $1 million sounds like a lot, but in retirement, it's not the size of the nest egg that matters. It's how much income it can safely produce. At a conservative 4% withdrawal rate, $1 million generates about $40,000 per year. That's before taxes and assumes you don't outlive your money. Now layer in government benefits. If you worked in Canada most of your life, you may get around $15,000 to $20,000 annually from CPP. Add in old age security, which currently pays around $8,000 to $9,000 per person per year. For a couple, CPP and old age security together might provide $30,000 to $40,000. Combine that with your $40,000 from your portfolio and you're looking at around $70,000 to $80,000 of annual income. For some families, that's perfectly comfortable, but in expensive cities like Vancouver or Toronto, it might not cover everything, especially if you travel, have cottages, or are helping out adult children as part of your lifestyle. For example, imagine David and Karen, both 65 with $1 million saved in their RRSPs. They expect CPP and old age security to provide another $36,000. Their total income target is about $80,000 per year. On paper, it looks fine, but once taxes and inflation are factored in, the picture is tighter than they expected. $1 million doesn't guarantee freedom. It provides a foundation, but the comfort depends on your lifestyle, spending, and tax strategy. Number 2, the lifestyle factor. What do you really spend? Whether $1 million is enough comes down to your spending habits. If you live in a smaller community, own your own home, mortgage-free, and spend around $60,000 a year, $1 million may feel abundant. But if you're used to spending $120,000 a year, including travel, supporting kids, and maintaining multiple properties, the $1 million will likely fall short. Most retirees underestimate spending in the early years. This is when travel, home renovations, and bucket list items are highest. Later, healthcare often becomes the biggest cost. Example, let's say Susan, age 63, has $1 million in her portfolio and plans to retire next year. She tells me she only needs $60,000 a year, but when we track her actual spending, it's closer to $90,000. Without adjustments, her money could run out by her late 80s. Retirement isn't just about hitting a number. It's about aligning your spending with what your savings can actually support. Number 3, the longevity challenge, outliving your money. A healthy 65-year-old Canadian today has a strong chance of living well into their 90s. That means your retirement savings may need to last 30 years or more. This creates what we call longevity risk, the risk of outliving your money. On paper, withdrawing 4% of $1 million looks safe, but reality isn't so neat. Markets fluctuate, healthcare costs rise, unexpected expenses happen. And if you live longer than you planned for, the cushion can disappear. For example, John retired at 62 with $1 million, thinking it could easily cover him till his late 70s. Now he's healthy, 85, with only $200,000 left. His biggest fear isn't dying, it's running out of money while he's still alive. Retirement planning needs to be built for the possibility of living longer than you expect, not just the average. Number 4, the tax trap most people forget. Here's something that most Canadians overlook. Your $1 million isn't all yours. If much of it is in an RRSP or a RRIF, every dollar withdrawn is fully taxable as income. That $40,000 annual withdrawal, depending on your tax bracket, it could shrink to $30,000 after tax. And if both spouses pass away with money still in a RRIF, the CRA can tax the entire balance in a single year, often at the highest rate. Let's say Margaret died at 82 with $700,000 left in her RRIF. Because her husband had already passed, the entire balance was added to her final tax return. Nearly half went to taxes, leaving her children far less than she had imagined. Tax planning in retirement isn't optional. It's the difference between maximizing your lifestyle and losing a large share to the CRA. Number 5, inflation, the silent retirement killer. Even if $70,000 to $80,000 per year feels comfortable today, inflation chips away at that buying power every single year. At just 3% inflation, your cost of living doubles in about 24 years. That means a $70,000 lifestyle at age 65 could cost nearly $140,000 by your late 80s. This is why many retirees feel squeezed later in life, even when they started with a large nest egg. Don't just think about today's expenses. Your retirement plan must account for rising costs of everything you'll need over the decades. Number 6, making $1 million work. Smart strategies so you can comfortably retire on $1 million in Canada. The short answer is yes, if you structure it wisely. Here's how to stretch that money further. Diversify income sources. Blend withdrawals from RRSPs, TFSAs, and non-registered accounts to reduce taxes. Use TFSAs strategically. Tax-free withdrawals help preserve cash flow in higher tax years. Delay CPP and old age security. Deferring until 70 increases your guaranteed income for life, a valuable hedge against living longer. Consider partial withdrawals early. Sometimes drawing down RRSPs in your 60s before old age security kicks in reduces lifetime tax. Stress test your plan. Run scenarios for market downturns, inflation spikes, or living to age 95. Planning for the worst gives peace of mind in the best of times. For example, Anne and Robert retired at 64 with $1 million. Their advisor built a plan that used RRSP withdrawals in their 60s, delayed CPP until 70, and maximized TFSA contributions. Their protected lifetime tax bill dropped by $200,000 and their income stayed stable through age 95. $1 million can absolutely provide a solid retirement, but only with a clear, personalized income plan. The truth is, $1 million is no longer the guarantee it once was. For some Canadians, it's more than enough. For others, it won't come close to sustaining the lifestyle they imagine. The difference comes down to planning. How much do you spend? How do you structure withdrawals? How do you prepare for inflation and taxes? And how do you protect against the risk of living longer than you expect? Handled wisely, $1 million can give you freedom, peace of mind, and the retirement you've dreamed of. Handled poorly, and it can leave you anxious and stretched thin. If you want a second opinion on your plan, book a time with me using the link in the description below.